Welcome guys, do me a favor, hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications. If you're on TikTok, I'm doing this for the first time live simultaneously, so double tap if you're on TikTok. But welcome back. We have a fantastic show lined up for today. Yay, we're back. Taking off a whole week, I think, almost a week. But we're back. We have some important conversations to we had today. Let me lower that music. Sorry, hold on 1 second. Alright. Wow. Welcome back to Men of Siege. We have a good show today, so stay tight. Hold. Don't touch the dial. I'm looking for my music to turn down. Alright, hold on 1 second, guys. There we go. We're there. All right, so how's everybody doing? I'm a little bit distracted. Shout out to TikTok. We're live on TikTok. How you guys doing? Can you guys hear me loud and clear? Yes. All right, we're looking good. All right. Welcome back. Good to see you all. Welcome back to Man of Prestige. Do me a favor, hit the like button, share, subscribe, double tap, all of that on TikTok. Help me get that up to 100 likes. I'm not going to be paying too much attention. I'm responding to the people responding to me. So it is what it is. We do have an audience on YouTube that we're going to take care of primarily. So welcome back. Let me see here. So how Nadina, welcome back. Over here at Man of Prestige, what we do is we highlight life and relationship topics. Lessons from trendy topics. So today we're going to be, of course, touching on the Diddy situation. Actually, I think there's an update, so we're going to be touching on that a little bit. Also today, we're also going to talk about come out to speed with the Akpoti, Natasha Akpoti Uduanga and Akpabio situation. We're going to catch up on that. Today, there's a news here about some pastors that has done the unthinkable to a child. I think Very Dark Man has something to say about that, and we're also going to digging through what he has to say about that. But welcome back, Natu. So sorry, pardon my manners, Natu. I see you. Welcome, Natu. How are you doing? All right, when we take time off, everybody sort of kind of go to sleep. Not necessarily, but other people are busy. They're dropping content, so we can't really be too entitled to people's attention. But do me a favor, Sha. Hit the like, share, subscribe. Shout out to the 5 of you watching on YouTube. I appreciate you. Hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications. Shout out to all the sponsors. Our goal this month was 120. What was it again? Our goal this month was $110.72. We already beat that. We're at $134.10, and we have a few more days in the month of June 2025. So shout out to you. The books are available for free. You can go to manofprestige.com. You can go download the books. There are 5 books up there. There are 2 books on real estate. There's 1 book on digital marketing, and there's 2 books on relationships, co-authored by me, my wife. So you can go download all of those for free at manofprestige.com. All right, what else do we need to do? Just some house rules real quick before we continue. I think we're good to go. Let's just dive in right into the first story today. We have a first story on this pastor who did the unthinkable to a child, a Nigerian pastor. His name is Amos Isah. All right, so let's jump right into there because we don't have that much time. I know you guys are on at work and stuff like that, so I want you to get back to your productive days as soon as possible. With that being said, hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications, and I will be right back.
Girl, it's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Me love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.
All right, welcome back. So there's this pastor, a popular pastor apparently in Abuja, Nigeria. His name is Amos Isah. He's been arrested, denied bail over 14-year-old girl case. That's all I'm going to say about that. Bottom line, he's had a carnal knowledge, according to VDM. That's the language he used. He had a carnal knowledge of a 14-year-old. This guy that you're looking at on the screen, yes, him. Now, a few days ago, a guy, the guy, a lawyer of, what's his name? Akwi, Darlington, Speed Darlington, right? Speed Darlington came and, no, it's not Speed Darlington. Speed Darlington's lawyer came on the internet and said he was at the police station, and he saw a pastor, it was on Saturday. It was on Saturday or Saturday morning. He said he saw a very popular pastor being arrested, and probably in church on that day they would tell everybody. They were probably going to tell everybody on that day that daddy has traveled. Lo and behold, that he didn't mention the name. The guy was arrested for having the carnal knowledge of a child, which is obviously a crime, illegal, no matter how you want to shape it, form it, or I don't know how you want to shape that. But anyway, lo and behold, on Monday or Tuesday, this news broke out everywhere on Tunde Ednot, Instablog Niger. Everybody started talking about this. All right. So, but eventually, Sahara reporters apparently on June 24, was like, yesterday they broke this news. Somebody had the guy's name. His name is Amos Isah. I don't know if it's Isah or Isah. Anyway, Sahara reporters on Monday broke the news. So that will be Monday. Broke the news of how Pastor Isah was arrested and detained by the police for allegedly raping a 14-year-old girl. The Nigerian police force has refused to grant an administrative bail to Amos Isah, the founder and lead pastor of Prophetic Victory Voice of Fire Ministry. It's always one of those two words, either prophetic or fire. You find one of those two words in somewhere, Some few weeks ago, we covered a story of the pastor, the Daddy G of Mountain and Fire. This is all allegations. Allegedly, we don't know, but this news, this one is arrested now. So this guy is in Gwagwa Lada, somewhere in Abuja. Sahara reporters on Monday broke the news. They said a source privy to the incident informed Sahara reporters that Pastor Isah had applied for an administrative bail pending the investigation of the allegations leveled against him. However, his application was declined by the police. Hey, pardon my manners. So sorry. Shout out to Adama Dr. Adama and Marriott in the chat. I hope you guys are doing well. Good to see you guys. All right, hit the like button. Let's hit the like button while we're covering the story. We're coming to the main story. Just covered a couple of catch up today. All right, so however, his application was declined by the police, according to the source. The source said on the pastor accused of rape and detained, the police said they will not release him on bail, that they are waiting for the legal advice before charging him to court. And I quote, his church members are surprised because he told them he was traveling abroad. The source added, okay, his arrest, which I'm guessing the source might be the same person that I thought, Akpi's lawyer. Anyways, arrest which took place last week sent shockwaves to the community, as Pastor Isah was known for his charismatic sermons. All right, let me play a video for you. There's a video that I want to play for you guys, okay? Let's see here. Now you can see why people are calling him charismatic. Pastor, what's his name? Pastor Amos Isah. At press time, he's being known to, let me see here. Wala. Our problems not they finish, especially for Niger. Problems not they finish. Let me see here. So the guy also, he dances a lot. He does a lot of dancing and stuff like that. Okay, I found a video. Let me see if I can play this one for you guys. All right, so we can add some context to this. Here we go. Listen to this. Let's see. Oh, I have to refresh, guys. Let me refresh. I don't know what's going on here. Okay, I'm back. I'm gonna share it now. Here we go.
The name of your husband is Anthony.
Name of the husband is Anthony.
Mba.
Uncle Benno, how far now? How you this, sir? Good to see you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Anthony Mba.
Yes, sir.
And this Anthony have children.
Yes, sir.
I'm hearing among the children. I'm hearing.
Anthony has children. What are the chances?
Chinaza. I'm hearing another name like Shidima.
What are the chances?
Shidima.
Yes, sir.
Shidima.
Yes.
Who is Mercy that you know?
It's me.
Who is Jumaine?
Me.
Professor.
It is me.
Woman, can I
It
talk
is
to you?
me.
Yes, sir.
Can I talk to you?
Yes, sir.
I hear God talking to me.
Yes, sir.
That's the guy. Let me see if he dances
Are you
at some
the one that
point.
gave testimony last Wednesday?
Lots and lots of testimonies in Nigeria.
I see enemies
Okay, this
fighting
building
this
looks like an
one,
uncompleted
fighting this
building.
one,
Yes, sir.
fighting
A
this
lot
one.
of yes,
Here is
sirs.
Samson.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sirs.
Over your family.
Okay, so why is it that this guy cut his hair like this? What is going on? He cut, I don't think he's exactly bored. Okay, I think he might be bored. He shaped his hair to look exactly like that. Anyway, more problem day everywhere. Uncle Benno said, problem raised to power 100. Yes, so. But anyway, let me finish reading this story for you guys. So, they said a review of the Facebook page by Sarah Reporter showed that Isah frequently posts messages on holiness and moral uprightness. Okay, that's the typical Nigerian man. Okay, that's the, from what, okay, let me say typical Nigerian man that is loud on the internet. Let me say it like that, because there's a lot of fine Nigerian men that are not there. If they're online, they're in the chat. They're not talking, they're just listening. They might be finding the whole thing entertaining, and they're just, you know, they might just be looking at the whole internet as just a bunch of clowns. There are many fine Nigerian men like that. So, but on this internet, the loud one also tends to be the influencers. So go figure, right? So what do you think is happening? It's probably spreading in numbers. So that's why we pay attention to this kind of stuff, because I want you to know that as much as you see the loudest people or persons on the internet, they seem to be clowns and lunatics, and they are much more entertaining. And I want you to know that they are not necessarily the reality as of yet. However, they are spreading. Their influence is spreading because we also have a lot of gullible people that may be going through situations in their personal life, in their marriages, and they might yield to lies that has been told over and over and over and over again, and then it ends up becoming the truth. That's just how it works, okay? That's why you even look at a typical word in the dictionary, you see that the words are being used differently because they take on a different meaning if we keep hearing the same rhetorics around them. Very, very important to pay attention to. All right. So if you look at this guy right now, he's an example of very influential people that you might want to be careful when you listen to them. On June 15, Father's Day, he posted on Facebook, "Dear God, thank you for the gift of fatherhood." But let's allow our Very Dark Man to give us the news of what's going on here. Very Dark Man is going to tell us a little bit more about what's going on, and then we're going to see if we can extract 1 or 2 lessons from the whole thing. All right, so I'm playing it right now. Hopefully we won't have to refresh again. Something is happening with my browser. I think it's I might need to restart the whole PC, or my MacBook rather.
To show you people remember this pastor.
A man said, very dark man. A man said, very dark man. Go and catch this pastor. If you see fake pastor, you no go know. You go know. Now my own way God give me.
So a news came out today that's in Nakwan small Pekin. Now,
so wait, this guy was threatening Very Dark Man, or indirectly people were threatening him with Very Dark Man. And what did he say again?
Very dark man, go and catch this pastor. If you see fake pastor, you no go know. You go know. Now my own.
Me, I will know if I see fake pastor, but most of these human beings will not believe me because they have to. Somebody has to be a victim first, unfortunately. Before they believe me. People like me, because I talk too softly, I'm not aggressive, I'm not showing TikTok versions of masculinity so they will believe the TikTok versions of masculinity more because it catches attention, right? So it is what it is.
So a news came out today that's
let's hear Very Dark Man.
Now, but there will be a while in the case because I just got all the fact of the case. So the case was reported in Gogolada police division. What happened? That the 14-year-old girl, the parents are member of the church, that the pastor Amos, requested for the girl during the day that there was no church service. So when the girl came, then he told the girl that they should go to the back of the church. So at the back of the church, that was when he had carnal knowledge of the 14-year-old girl. But that's not where the whole thing is shocking. That part's not shocked me. The further part of the case is what is shocking. So when the thing happened, they took the case to the police, and then they said they should go to the hospital. They said they should go to the hospital to ascertain whether the man do forceful entry on the 14-year-old girl. So when they got to the hospital, all
right, so once it is Nigerians and Africans and black men and the general public, newsflash, once it is a 14 years old, there's no need to check if it's forceful anymore. That is by default forceful. Do you understand me? This is very simple. Once a person is a minor, a whole human being is a minor, that becomes by default, by definition, forceful. So Very Dark Man, the way he said that, I'm sure he knows that, hopefully, you know.
He said the case is going to take about 2 weeks, but because of the pressure, the police division in Gogolada said, you know what, let's take this case to FCID, which is the headquarters in, not really the headquarters, in Area 10, because FCID is a bigger police station. So when they took the case to FCID, FCID said, okay, so what are we going to do next? We'll continue investigation to be sure what happened. Now, the doctor.
All right, so it is still an investigation, it's still an allegation until you do have to prove that he in fact touched the little girl. But if he touched the little girl, we don't need to check if it's forceful or not. It is already forceful, okay?
And the hospital now had to call to say, this test will be hard though, because this girl is not a virgin. That the 14-year-old girl had confessed on her statement that she has 2 boyfriends and they both of them usually have sexual intercourse with her.
Now, Very Dark Man said, oh, the most interesting part is that the girl is this part that he is about to reveal, which is the fact that a 14-year-old girl has a boyfriend. Okay, what does that have to do with the crime? This has nothing to do with the crime. Two boyfriends, okay, irrelevant to the alleged crime. I hope I'm spelling it out because it just seems like too many people don't know. Okay, especially you go backwards from the black men to Africans to Nigeria, it seems like a lot of people simply don't know.
Can you imagine? 14-year-old girl don't get two boyfriends that she confessed and wrote it in a statement that she has two boyfriends and the both of them they sleep with her anytime. You see how
Okay, so at this point I'm supposed to be flabbergasted. Both of the two boyfriends are sleeping with her all the time. Too late. I was already flabbergasted once I realized the grown adults messed with a 14-year-old. And by the way, the rest of it, the subsequent facts are irrelevant. Those are not crimes. The first one from the very beginning is a crime. Very dark man. All the black men, Africans, Nigerians. Yes, it's already a crime. In fact, it's already a crime. It's full stop at that point. The fact that she has two boyfriends is completely irrelevant. Now, it's not the specifics. I don't care about if laws should be that way or not. What I'm saying is your ability to be able to look at our society and say these are the rules, these are the laws. You can't learn how to navigate life if you don't understand what the laws are. Criminal law, yes, social laws, yes, even emotional intelligence based laws. If you don't know what the laws are, you don't even know what laws you're breaking, you become a lame human being in our society. And you don't get to say, why it shouldn't be that way. No, stop, slow down, slow all the way down. We're not waiting. It's not your opinion. Okay, we're not waiting for your opinion on this one.
Sorry.
It's not in every conversation that you need to have an opinion. Some things are just factual. Okay, like for example, our society, there are 7 billion other people outside of you. So there are rules. So if you break the rules, which happens sometimes by mistake, sometimes by, you have to be okay with the consequences. And you cannot argue with the consequences. Let's hear what Very Dark Man has to say again.
How crazy this generation is. You see how crazy this generation is.
Very Dark Man say our generation is crazy because a 14-year-old has two boyfriends. That is crazy to him. Everything before we get to this point somehow is not crazy. I don't want to misquote him, but because of what he said here, because of what he said here, I'm going to rewind it a little bit and play for you.
The police division in Gogolada said, you know what, let's take this case to FCID, which is the headquarters not really the headquarters in Area 10, because FCID is a bigger police station. So when they took the case to FCID said, okay, so what are we going to do next? We'll continue to call to say, this test will be hard though, because this girl is not, and the hospital now had to call to say, this test, now the doctor,
the doctor
say, this test.
Wait.
He said, okay, so what are we going to do next? We'll continue.
I just want you to pick something up here.
What happened? Now, the doctor and the hospital now had to call to say, this test will be hard though, because this girl is not a virgin. That the 14-year-old girl had confessed on her statement that she has two boyfriends and they both of them usually have sexual intercourse with her. Can you imagine?
This is the part where it says, can we imagine? I'm moving forward a little bit.
But if the girl is saying that the man don't knock her, then the man should be prosecuted.
All right, so I'll leave it at that. He's right. The man should be prosecuted if he has in any way, shape, or form touched that little girl. Okay, it doesn't even have to be penetration, any of that. If it's any type of inappropriate behavior, it needs to be prosecuted. But that's what we're dealing with, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, that's what we're dealing with. Now. Don't put any man on a pedestal. Any human being, don't put them on a pedestal. Don't do that, okay? But there needs to be consequences, and these are the ways that humans are trained. These are the ways that humans' behavior are shaped in our society. It's not by preaching holiness. Anyone can preach holiness, is the point I'm making here. Anybody can also be a pastor, especially in the Nigerian society where the average man is trying to feed themselves. Sometimes they commit crime to feed themselves. And when they commit small crime, then they can commit any level of crime. But let me come to the chat. Let me read a little bit of the chat before we continue here. Shout out to Misty EE. I see you. She said, hello, real fam in the MOP channel. I greet you all. What are you doing? Is the Prestige fam here? Misty EE, is the Prestige fam here? But yes, we're all family, okay? But it's the Prestige fam, Misty EE, okay? Welcome, though. I appreciate you. God help our people, MOP. We're very uninformed. Maria says, that is the most interesting. That is what, no, she's asking a question. Say, that is the most interesting. This is why I cannot stand that country. PDFs and PDF apologies, sick people. So it's the grape culture, okay, that we're coming from. Okay, and we need to understand that so that we can actually educate it properly, so we can actually educate people properly. We need to come from the angle of like, oh, this is where we're coming from. Okay, all right, let's correct it. Okay, that's wrong. This is wrong. Small little small nuances like that makes all the differences, because sometimes the gullible, the impressionable youth are listening and they think, and they're picking small things up, you know. So unfortunately, that's the culture where we're coming from, where even, I always like to say, even women will cover this kind of things up when it happens inside of families. So we need to be coming from an educational standpoint, you know. It's sad, and a lot of time people have to be victims before people actually learn the right way. Missy E says, once you have intercourse with a minor, you have committed defilement. Virginity is irrelevant. Absolutely irrelevant. Maya said the first part was the most ridiculous, yet he has female supporters and men with kids supporting these sick people. Listen, that's just the generation where we're coming from, you know. So we need to, the small little bit of educational seeds here and there will go a long way, because you never know who is listening. They almost always blame the child. They call them spoiled. Well, in Nigeria, where I grew up, they might call them even possessed. They might have seen, there's a video on YouTube way back in the days. I don't know if the video is still on YouTube, where they actually put an Isho, an Omo Isho through the head of a child, because they claim the child is possessed. These are the kind of things that are happening the more you go into this type of rural areas, you know. So Nigerians don't care. They almost always blame the child. Yeah, no, this does not even sound like an actual race kit type test, because Nigerians ask none. Who are we kidding? No. He said, good luck correcting, but this issue is why I give up on Nigeria. I don't give up. If you give up anyway, it's okay. I understand. A lot of people are not going to give up on Nigeria, because remember, we're still in the same global village, right? So if Nigeria becomes a threat, you see what happened a few days ago, that Iran, right? You see what happened between the US, Iran, and Israel, right? If Nigeria becomes a threat to the rest of the world, then they will get attacked, or they will get invaded, or something like that. So it's all a global village. So we just need to be patient with the process. Unfortunately, it's deeply rooted and it's going to take a while. But I highlight this kind of stories so you can see that this is somebody's brother. This gentleman, yes, I call him a pastor. An average person in Nigeria has a cousin, has an uncle, has an auntie who is a pastor. And to them, it's a beautiful thing. I think it's a negative. I think it's a sign of negative. I think it's a signal, a negative signal that if you have an average person has an immediate family member who is a pastor, it sounds like, oh, heaven, here we come. But it's actually a negative signal, because it usually means that people are not being productive. It means that there are no other types of jobs or other types of arena where they feel they can serve. And sometimes it's their way to feel safe. And it's a negative sign. And that's something that people should start paying attention to. Even my own parents today, when they hear that, they don't like to say anything negative about the fact that somebody is a pastor. Like, oh, the pastor, oh, that's such a beautiful thing. That's what they say to themselves, you know. But sadly, that is a negative thing. I hate to bust everybody's bubbles. Hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications so you're notified when we go live. Thank you. Hit the like, share, subscribe. We have some other stories to cover. Let me know what your thoughts are. Share your thoughts about this. Thank you, Marriott and Misty, for sharing your thoughts on this one. I will be right Back.
Girl, it's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Make love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.
All right, welcome back. Let's catch up on the Akpoti versus Akpabio story. There's apparently some new allegations. I heard there's some new allegations. I'm looking at this on whatchamacallit, on Instablog Nigeria. It was posted yesterday or so. All right, so it says, oh no, actually, I'm looking at it on Linda EKG blog official on Instagram. It says the federal government has slammed fresh charges. The federal government has slammed fresh charges against the suspended Kogi Central Senator Natasha Akpoti Uduaghan. The new charge was filed at the Federal High Court Abuja on May 22nd, 2025, just weeks after a similar charge was instituted at the Federal Capital FCT High Court. Both charges were based on the comment allegedly made by the female senator, which the government claimed were damaging to the reputation of Senate President Godswill Akpabio and former Kogi State Governor Yaya Bello. While the case before the Federal Capital Territory High Court is premised on Section 392 of the Penal Code, which deals with criminal defamation, the government alleged that Senator Akpoti Uduaghan made online statements that could damage the public image of Akpabio and Bello. The senator has consistently denied the allegations, describing them as politically motivated and designed to intimidate opposition voices. The filing of parallel charges in different courts has triggered accusations of forum shopping, controversial legal tactic, where litigants file in identical and similar suits in multiple courts to increase their chances of securing a favorable ruling. Senator Akpoti Uduaghan is expected to appear before the Federal High Court for arraignment on June 30, 2025. What does this tell you? What does this tell you? Now, the lame will obviously look at this and say, I don't believe her. She's always accusing people, right? The lame might also say, I believe her. She's right. She's right. That's the lames will take sides. It's okay, not the lames. It is lame behavior to take sides. We don't know what actually happened here. In fact, what I've been asking for from since day one is they need to give this case a fair hearing, because it demonstrates leadership. It allows these people that are in big positions to demonstrate leadership, and anything less than that is basically lack of accountability. It demonstrates lack of accountability, and it's over time, as we continue to move into the nearest future here, where everything is getting democratized. Shout out to AI, the internet. Shout out to the fact that an average human being does have a voice, okay, or at least a camera. So even if they can't speak, their camera is always recording all these activities around the whole place, and which is the reason why we're able to see all their conduct in that court, which is the reason why somebody was able to go back into the past and pull up Senator Akpabio's conduct in the past, behaving the same way, the same accusation that him and his cohorts have been giving Senator Natasha, which is the fact that she won't take a seat. She's basically charging words at the Senate president. We have a video floating around of Senator Akpabio doing the same exact thing at the then Senate President Saraki. This is just the normal common behavior when they don't have their way. It's a form of protest. But now she said, wait, this man who is in a position of power has wanted to enter this quickus. And she said no. And there's multiple instances alleged by her that this guy wanted, even though he's a friend to the husband. That those are all allegations. You have to treat allegations as allegations. You have to, meaning it will trigger you emotionally, and if you don't have any sense of emotional control, you might fight back with emotions. And when you fight back with emotions, you stand a good chance to lose, because it can signal that you are in fact guilty, but at the very least you lack accountability, because you're in a position of power. So to whom much is given, much is expected, much is required. Those are the simple explanations that have been given from day one. But you can see here, what are they trying to do here? What do you guys think they're trying to do here? Let me read the chat. Let me see if somebody picked that up, of what they're trying to do here. Life with Natu says, why be say now government they sue her? Because the government, quote unquote, the people, it is a representation. It's basically yeah, you're right, it's cap.
Stop the cap.
What it means when they say the government is suing her is that the people are against her. That's what it means, at least on paper. But we know that's far from the truth, right? Natu says, Yaya Bello, where EFCC they find. Are they still looking for him? It looks like they stopped looking for him, right? Mario says the federal government is harassing her now. Did the police investigate her claim? Nope. So yes, they are trying to frustrate her into submission. Something that it's also, I'm not going to be emotional about it. It's a strategy. Okay. The question is that, are the people in general going to be emotional about it, right? Yes, we have more than enough people supporting, not the government and the quote-unquote people as it looks on paper, but we have more than enough people supporting Akpabio. Why? Because of what we just talked about. It is the grape culture. Okay, so we tend to think in terms of more sexually, right? But it is basically the controlling, manipulative culture that we're coming from. That's what you're looking at right now. So when we say things or systems are getting democratized, right, or decentralized, these are the people that are actively pushing against are basically manipulative people, right? Because they can't trust in the intrinsic value that they bring to the table. They can't trust it. They believe that other people must be subjugated, must be less than, lower than, before they can actually get what they want or achieve what they're looking for at micro and macro level. Okay, so yes, these are human beings camouflaging as the people or the federal government, basically manipulating our system. And as we move more and more into the future, you're going to see that there's going to be less and less opportunities to do that. So you as an individual, okay, if you tend to use controlling, manipulative tactics, okay, it's not always easy to tell that you are that individual. Okay, in fact, you might feel like a victim. Okay, it's very easy to feel like a victim when you're just looking at things from your own perspectives, right? Trust me, it's very, very easy, right? And it's also very easy to camouflage as, oh, I'm the man. Oh no, people should just respect and play their role. We say things like that. Yeah, same rhetoric, okay? And when you have to stand behind those kind of rhetoric, it just tells me that you're trying to be the victim. You are saying you are the victim. There's a good chance you're not the victim. That's a good chance. And especially if you lack the ability to self-reflect, there's a very good chance you are not the victim. Okay, if you can't self-reflect, if you lack self-awareness, if you've never taken at least more than a day to say, where are my flaws? Which means you're admitting that I'm a human being, I'm a flawed human being, and there's a good chance that I have flaws. If you haven't taken, okay, let me say at least 1 hour to sit there, just sit within yourself. If you haven't taken that, you struggle. But this is the culture where we're coming from. So people will look around them and use anything. There's more than enough evidences, or what do you want to call it? Elements or events around you that you can blame, that you can point fingers at. There's more than enough. Or that you can use as a weapon, weaponize against the closest people to you. right? You more than enough. Some of them come easy. It might be ideas you got from the book. You never, I told, like, anytime I write a book, I say, hey, read it 10 to 15 times. Why? Because people will tend to take one thing that they can relate with, they will turn it to a religion, and they will start to use it to manipulate others. It's a very tricky thing. It happens all the time. Okay, so that's why you will see, if you notice, I tend not to quote books directly. I want, if I'm going to quote anything, I want to actively listen to what I'm dealing with in front of me with empathy as much as I can, because I'm a flawed human being too. So empathy is actually hard for me too. Why? Because I'm a human being. I have my own selfish needs too, right? So empathy is hard. It's just what it is for an average human being, because innately we're all selfish. Why? It says basically we need to survive. Okay, we need to survive mentally, emotionally, and of course physically. So we tend to come from a very defensive standpoint. That's just the way it works. So it takes intentionality, it takes emotional intelligence to know that, oh, I'm an emotional being too. Like, okay, let me calm down, let me try to understand the other people. And you can also overdo that one where you're always overcompensating for that, and then you're giving too much than you have, right? So it's a dance, it's a balance that we have to play out. What does this have to do with Natasha and Akpoti? That's the culture we're coming from. What you're seeing at the government political level is a reflection of all of us individually. Is the culture that we're pushing, that the system is actively pushing against right now. So the longer it takes you to really realize that, the more you are a loser. And I say that with all types of disrespect. Okay, because it is what it is. Everybody is competing in this same game. So we're telling you now, the way forward is emotional intelligence, but you choose that you want to be a loser, then I can't do nothing. It's a fair game for everybody. It's already fair. Okay, that's why I don't like the message around unfairness, or I don't like that. I don't like that unless we're, as leaders, trying to make sure everything is fair for a group of people. But from me to you personally, on a personal note, it's already fair if we're in a relationship of any type. So play your own role. But what I'm saying is, be self-aware. Okay, don't be a loser by just trying to manipulate people. Don't do that, because it's going to backfire as we move further and further into the future, because everything nyash done exposed now. Mr. EE says you can't demonstrate what you don't have. Exactly, you can't give what you don't have, right? Is the federal government the victim? Banana Republic, that's where we are as Nigerians. We're gonna keep working at it, right? On what ground is the government suing her? Never mind all that. They're trying to frustrate her into submission. It is a strategy. It is an old school strategy that will continue to work less and less and less. That back in the days, this story would have gone away a long time ago, but as you can see, it's not going away. I don't think it's going to go away easy. Criminal defamation, the tool of the powerful in Nigeria right now. Mara says, you're right, governments are a reflection of its people. Yeah, so when an average Nigerian come to me and they just seem, it's okay to say our government do this, but if it tends to be our rhetoric, we're just playing the victim, you lose me instantly, because it tells me that somebody doesn't understand how life works, you know. And it's not my fault. I like to have empathy for that too, but you will lose me, because me too, there's a way I think too, and you will lose me if you play the victim too much. And when I say you lose me, it's also a way to protect myself, because if I talk too much, being somebody who is on the outside of the walls of Nigeria, I can come off as insensitive to the plight of an average Nigerian person who is just trying to eat. That's why you see me push hard against a very dark man who is just always helping, quote unquote, the victim mindset. I struggle with that. Pray for me. May God help me. Okay, hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications. Let me just see if I can review one comment here. Somebody said, while EFCC declared Yaya Bello wanted, federal government of Nigeria is suing a senator for defamation. And Yaya Bello, what a good point. What a good time to be alive in Nigeria. Another person says, my brother, if you have evidence for Nigeria, please don't release it until the late hours after they have used everything they have to fight you. That's a good point. That's a good point. Then you play You play your last card and finish them. See, for now, the government were so confused because they don't know her last card. This is Nigeria. God bless you. I appreciate that. I really appreciate that comment. This our federal government don't get tired of disgracing and embarrassing themselves. For Christ's sake, Senator Natasha has a case with Akpabio. So why is federal government buying the case and carrying it like their biggest problem? Because Nigerians keep voting, electing or selecting the wrong people into office. For now, eventually all that system is going to self-implode as well. It's not sustainable. It's only a matter of time. Okay, it's not if, it's when. They keep coming for this woman. Very soon they will send EFCC to her. Listen, they're not done. Okay, 1 week, one trouble. Somebody said our 6-month suspension will soon be over and she'll be back into the house since you people want to be distracting her with different lawsuits. That's another. They're probably going to try to frustrate her. We'll see. We'll continue to catch as much of the update as we can. For now, I think we should go forward to the Diddy story. Let's catch up. I think Diddy might go free, guys. You never see anything yet. You want to keep playing that fairness game? I think Diddy is about to go free, guys. You know, this headline says Diddy in trouble, but I think he's about to go free. Stay tuned. Hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications so you're notified when we go live. I'll be right back.
Girl, it's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Make love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.
All right, welcome back. Back to the main story of the day. The Diddy in deep trouble. Cassie's audio leak is chilling. What should we do first? Should we listen to our audio leak? This is actually a little bit of a stale gist, but I didn't get a chance to come and catch up on it. But there's an audio. I think we should listen to the audio. Let's listen to the audio and then no, you know what? I'll tell you what. This is let me see here. This is more of the current news right now. And then we'll listen to the audio. Let's see here. Just about a quick update here from about 56 minutes ago. I'm looking at this on the e-news, eonline.com. It says the prosecution is streamlining their case against Sean Diddy Combs as the rap mogul's federal trial for sex trafficking, racketeering, and transportation to engage in prostitution, to which he has pleaded not guilty, completes its 7th week in session. The prosecution has submitted a letter to Judge Aaron Subramania. Okay, no thanks. Amending part of their theories of attempted arson and kidnapping. And I quote, the government is no longer planning to proceed on their theories of liability, the prosecution stated in the letter obtained by emails. So instructions are no longer necessary. In addition to dropping part of their argument of the first count, one count of racketeering conspiracy, the letter sought to clarify Combs' 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution. When discussing the charges in closing statements this week, the letter notes that it is imperative the jury understand that earlier consent is not determinative of whether a victim was sex trafficked, adding that the same is true of forced labor. They are changing the amount on forced labor or sex trafficking. That's what that means, okay? Which is part of Combs' sex trafficking count. Additionally, the letter requests that the court instruct the jury that sex trafficking, labor, and payment to the victim for that conduct are not mutually exclusive. Combs currently faces 5 counts in his federal trial. The aforementioned counts, as well as 2 for transportation to engage in prostitution. The letter from the prosecution comes shortly after Combs' team rested their defense after only 20 minutes on June 24th, and the 55-year-old waived his right to testify. He is not going to testify. We have discussed it thoroughly. That is my decision. Combs, who has been in federal custody since his September arrest, that's going on almost a year now, maybe 9 months, told the judge of his decision to not take the stand. That is totally my decision. I am making it. In his rare statement, why do you think he's not taking stand? For all the lawyers in the house, Misty, EE, and Marriott, why do you think he's not taking the stand? Or what do you know? You guys tell us your professional opinions. Why is he not taking the stand? This one is going to be too deep for an average human being to understand. So maybe you guys can help us break it down. He says, I'm doing great, Your Honor. Combs told the judge. I'm doing great. Wanted to tell you, thank you. You're doing an excellent job. Keep reading for everything to know about Combs' trial. Now, I think all of us are already convinced that Sean Diddy Puff Daddy Combs is a freak. We already agree on that. The part that is being proven now that if he's a criminal or not, all right, it's all allegations until proven guilty, right? All right. So he told the judge, Aaron Subramanian, that he will not take the stand during his sex trafficking trial. The judge emphasized that regardless of the rap mogul's decision, no one, including the jury, could draw any inference or suggestion of your guilt from the fact that you did not testify. They can't. I think they said it's part of the Fifth Amendment or something that they don't have to testify. They don't have to take a stand. Combs, who confirmed that he spoke with his team about not testifying, emphasized that this was solely his decision. We have discussed it thoroughly, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Defense shares estimation on closing argument. Combs' defense attorney Tenny Garagos told the judge that her team and the prosecution expect to take at least 4 hours each for their closing arguments. Okay. All right. So with that being said, I'm just going to go ahead and go take a look at let's see. All right, so Marriott is let's see, let me pull this up. Thank you, Marriott. Thank you for this here. She said, we did call him to the stand as a witness. The Fed government can't find him. What do you mean, quote unquote, find him? Or you're talking about Yaya Bello? I don't know. I think they get him on racketeering and transportation for a shower walk. The rest, I doubt it. All right, I'm gonna play this audio. This audio is one of the reasons why they are probably a little bit shaky in their boots. Number one, right not to self-incriminate. I love that. That is a big deal. Misty said, I'm exhausted. Oh, don't be, Misty. Don't be. This is a big case. It's a big guy. And by the way, there are many of them in the industry. Guess why they're trying to take him down? Your guess is as good as mine. It's not simply because it's a bad guy. You know, the average human being always think, he's a bad man. They should remove him from society. Wait, what? What do you mean? It's not that simple. Number two, he doesn't think the prosecution made their case. I like that. Why do anything? Better to sit down, look. Better to shut up. You don't have to say too much, right? Whatever they've said thus far, you're saying, yeah.
You are a mumu man.
He's saying, you're right. Let's see. Let's see if the jury have enough to remove him from our society. All right. I like it. I like where we're going here. Mara says because he's a black man. Okay. Misty said MOP evidence could be overwhelming against the accused as counsel doesn't want to expose him to incriminate himself during cross-examination. Exactly. Thank you for that. Because it's also not that simple, right? On the other way around. So he can talk himself into a hole, essentially. He can talk himself into a hole. So it's best to just allow the professionals to do their work, especially that they're probably spending millions of dollars on this case. Why not? You know, but let me see here on so let's play the audio. This audio right here is one of the reasons why I think they don't have much against him. It's not as big as the average man might think, at least. But let's play it. Let's see.
Life and I'll kill you.
Wait, what?
No, I will. You don't have to see it, but it's my life and I'll kill you.
Yeah, but
no, I will kill you if you don't show me right now. I will kill you and I will hide you and I will cut you up and put you in the dirt right now. Pull it up. If you have it, pull that up. Because if not, I'm going to kill you and then he's going to kill you again.
Who is talking?
So just do it.
Cassie's
pull
talking.
that up right now. You got that Pull that up. I'm going to kill you. You don't understand. I don't give a I've never killed anybody in my life, but I will kill you because you're with me. You're with me in my life right now. If I saw a video of you doing anything that you didn't want people to see, I would show you the video so you could tell me what the happened. You're playing games with me, telling me you saw some now you're saying you didn't see some you're with me. I'm going to you up. I don't think you understand. And it's not going to be my hands, and it's not going to be blood on my hands. Someone else is going to do it. So you have to tell me right now, and I'm recording this whole shit. FYI.
She's the one recording herself. Go figure.
You're talking about. Because this is not cool. We're not playing. I'm not playing with you, Sujit. Like, you saw some yes, you're my brother. Be my brother and tell me what you saw. You're going to be able to find it? You don't have to see it, but it's my life and I'll kill you.
Yeah, but
no, I will kill you if you don't show me right now. I will kill you and I will hide you and I will cut you up and put you in the dirt right now. Pull it up. If you have...
All right, so two things. Shout out to Uncle Bendo. Said, dude is a bad guy, yo. Interesting. I'll tell you what, it's irrelevant to the case. MOP credibility could also come into play, which Diddy lacks with this. Of course. The point I'm making to really maybe make it even simpler is that there's going to be multiple factors. Of course, your credibility is key, right? That's also now the other thing that's also a key factor here. Maybe you guys can word it better for me because I'm not a lawyer. A key factor will be the star witness. What is the credibility of the star witness? A star witness, am I still correct on this? A star witness will be Cassie, right? So what is the credibility of the star witness? Not to me and you, to the jury, right? I think that would also play a role in this one too, don't you think? Right? Diddy lacks with the sex trafficking case, so you keep him away from the stand. That yes. $1 million a month on those lawyers, I will not disagree with them. Yeah, as a person who is being accused, yeah, it's better you don't. If you're being accused, allegations, stay calm. Very, very important. $1 million a month on those lawyers, I will not disagree with them. Marriott, that would be ironical. As he would go after everyone who didn't support him or spoke up. Witnesses would live in fear forever. Yes, that actually can be a variable too. So even if they reduce his charges, are they going to reduce it all the way down to ground zero? Could he possibly end up with a house arrest for just 2 years of probation? No, I don't think so. I think they're going to get him on something. But never say never. I don't know. Honestly, I haven't followed it long enough. In fact, I will be learning a lot assessing this case, to be honest with you. But I could see right now that it's never two variables as the average man always think. They think it's either is right or it's wrong. No, actually, for the most part, that right and wrong thing is probably irrelevant. It's if there's enough. It's if after explaining, if there's enough evidence.
Explain, because no evidence.
That's what it comes down to. And right now, you see this young lady implicating herself. Now, that audio right there, I think the audio was recorded because somebody had a tape of her and she was recording, but she was using Diddy allegedly to threaten another person. Okay? To the extent where she is saying she will not have blood in her hands, she will basically... But she's not the one that the case is against, so... But she's a star witness. So I'm interested to know how this plays out as time goes on, But if you guys want to drop some comments in on this, I have some other stuff I would like to cover, but if you guys drop in, I would love to hear your thoughts on this one. Mario says, now all the jury has seen the tapes. Yes, they have seen the tapes. But guess what? A lot of those tapes, what we're hearing is that a lot of those tapes, people are not looking like victims in those tapes. People, a lot of times, are looking like they are active, willing participants. Right? Does that mean they're not victims? No, it doesn't mean that. It doesn't mean there are no victims. The point is that it's a lot more complicated than just anyone. They're going to look at the whole thing overall, and I don't know how many people in the jury, 18, 20, I don't know. You're gonna have to make all those people believe that he's guilty. Victim number 2 was worse. She was so unserious. The victim number 2, I heard allegedly is Jane, aka Danity something. I'll see if you can find it in a second. 50 Cent's baby mother. 50 Cent's baby mother. 50 Cent is an emotional human being when it comes to this personal stuff, and no wonder that he has some serious issues against Diddy. But anyway, that woman is a freak. That woman has about 3 people. Okay, about 3 people. Let me see if I can get this done. TikTok shout out to you is over. I'm just running up the numbers here to see. Yeah, so we're gonna cover. I forgot her name. We'll pull it up in a second. So I think is that victim number 2 or 3 or 4? I don't know, but yeah, she was worse. The charges left have long sentences. The jury just doesn't know. Okay, we'll see. Misty EE says the jury tends to emphasize so much with sex victims. Diddy has been painted as a demon. Remember, the jury are regular folks dealing with the facts of the case and the judge. That's a good point. Now, they are regular folks, but there are more than 2 or 3 people, right? I don't know how many. I'll pull it up in a second. But we'll see how it goes. You know, that's another case. Dealing with the facts of the case. Mr. EE, shout out to you, says power imbalance. Diddy is wealthy and influential. Many of his victims had to do his bidding due to power imbalance. Yes, that's a major part of it too, that we've tried to highlight from day one. You know, when we talk about harassment, sexual harassment, or all these kind of cases, a big part of it is the power imbalance. A big part of it is if someone is in a position of power, similar to the Akpabio case, which is you have a Senate president with a serious political power. The arguments have to be made. They are not black and white, but the arguments have to be made, right? Usually 12 jurors, depending on the jurisdiction. Exactly. I think there's a lot more though for this case. But yes, let me read some of this comment on here. Somebody said, B, what? She ain't sounding like no victim. She got y'all fooled. That is a woman saying that. Why did I say that's a woman? Because I'm influenced too. I think it's important to know it's a woman, because people might think women automatically are siding with the woman. It's not always true. Somebody said, some of y'all really standing 10 toes down for that man and are grasping at straws with this one. Okay, that's another woman saying the audio will never clear my vision of her being beat in a hallway. Shake my damn head. All right, there's also other tapes that's been seen, right? There are also other tapes that they're saying they've seen of also her being an abuser, physical abuser. Okay, I'm talking about Cassie herself. So, and Diddy has also said, I don't know if there are tapes of that, but Diddy has said, well, she started first. Unfortunately, because of the power imbalance, I'm not sure if they'll buy into that anyway. But we know that a lot of these DV cases, a lot of times there are usually 2 participants, but it's not as simple as that. You can't say, oh, she did it too. No, it's about the position of power, not just from a legal standpoint, even from a social belief system standpoint. Gentlemen, you have to be careful. Remove yourself. Call the police first. I always say that. Don't come out and be telling me he did it first, Baba. You better have evidence so that you're not going to be shalaye until you go tired.
We go explain because no evidence.
All right, let me see here. I'm learning, guys. I'm learning. Keep going. Missy E. Marriott. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. Cassie's abuse will be classified as self-defense, which is common among sex victims. Yes, may be classified. Probably will be. Because again, Diddy is such a powerful human demon, right? So yeah, it is 12. Like Missy said, okay, it's 12. Okay, great. Let's see here. How are you going to let a guy blowing up cars walk in the streets? Dangerous. We'll see. I'm going to be learning a lot. from this. Me personally, I think it's going away for a long time. But sometimes when they start pulling up some of this audio, because I think it was the defense that pulled up that audio, right? Sometimes when they start pulling up such audios, it creates a little bit of doubt, especially somebody like me that I like to really think about this critically and look at all the different factors that are at play here. And it can start to put a little of shade in the whole thing. But I think you guys are right. I think this guy is such a powerful guy. I think he's going away for a long time. Let me see. Some other comment says she's so soft spoken. That's wrong. The person is being sarcastic. They're wrong. Someone said our little voice, I can't take it serious. She sounds like she's playing. Okay, I hope you have enough evidence for that. Somebody said she loved them freak offs, period. She said over and over again how much she loved them freak offs. There are audios of her actually saying she couldn't wait for the next freak offs. I think the defense also put some of those up. Why do y'all think she's still not a victim? How would y'all feel if someone had a position of a video of you in the middle of a heinous sex act? Okay, that's a good point, right? So anybody will run their mouth to the ceiling and say, and they will curse and they will threaten and all those kind of things, right? Yeah, it's possible. Okay, TikTok, thank you. I'm going off. Thank you. We're going off on TikTok right about now. Let me see if I can. All right. Yay. God, thank you. Interesting. We had about 48 people came by on TikTok. TikTok, my algorithms on TikTok is dead. Ush, Joe. Ush. All right, thank you. All right, so why do you think she's still a victim? When put in any situation and you're back against the wall, it's fight or flight. Cassie girl, I support you 100 million times. Another 10,000 0%. Okay, somebody said I'm confused. What are they trying to prove with this? They have to pull all the stunts. They have to pull all the stunts they have left with them, right? They're trying to set him this. Somebody said $1 million per month. They're trying to set him free. What do you think? They're going to pull up all the stunts that they have. They'll pull them out. All the weapon against all the spirit of principalities trying to put Diddy away for life. They will pull them out. That's the way it works. Someone says she was high off that baby. Oh yeah. Talking like that. Wahala. So what if it's AI? Everybody is talking about it's AI. It is AI. Someone say y'all sound dumb as F in these comments. Talking about she's just doing it because of the abuse. Where is that same grace with the young black boys that's choosing to be in the streets to survive? Y'all don't even talk like that. It's like that. It's always lock them up. The fact that it's as a person who has been abused, it's a choice to stay point blank no matter how scared a person is. It's still up to you. Okay, that sounds stupid. That's not how they're going to look at it. They're not going to look at, oh, just because it's a choice. No, they're going to look at what are the behind the scenes of the choice that person made. Yes, the whole Stockholm syndrome thing is real, and they will use that because remember, like Misty E said, those are real people in the jury, and they will assess everything. It's not going to be as simple. You made a choice to stay. No. And it's also not going to be as simple as, oh yeah, you're a victim. No, because somebody's life is at stake and somebody is paying millions of dollars to a few people to set them free. It's all fair game at this point. Why she sound like Christina Milian? I don't know. She's not a victim. Somebody said, a woman says she's not a victim. Another person said, she's so sweet even when she's mad. Problems. Oh God. Somebody said she sound like Beyonce acting. God. All right, let me see if there's anything else that we haven't pulled up here in the past. All right, here's an audio of Diddy. Let me play this audio of Diddy. Let's see what he's saying in here. I haven't covered this in the past.
I don't have a lot of friends out here, okay? She asked me if she could work out with me. I said, okay. You got to believe what you want. It's the last time you go and cursing at me, disrespecting me over nothing. Like I'm a human being. I'm not going to lock myself up in a room and have no friends. I don't have a bunch of guy friends. I already told you that. And she's just came over to work out. Like, but I'm not going to be explaining. It don't matter if I just got finished day. I'm single. I could do whatever I want to, but I didn't. You're straight flipping out on me, and I told you that you had one more time to do this. Flipping out on me because somebody came to work out with me at my house. You're nuts. So be sad, go crazy, do whatever you want to do. Okay, I don't deserve you. I don't deserve being honest with somebody, and then every time they see somebody around, they like, I'm doing something. I don't have a lot of friends out here, okay?
All right, so that was Diddy against recording to Jane. Jane is allegedly the young lady, baby mother of 50 Cent. You know, the 50 Cent thing blows my mind. That girl, if she's that type of girl, you will go as a high earning person, go and have sex with that person and have babies as a 50 cents or more. This life, some people are just, it looks like they're just roaming about, don't care about their life. But anyway, that's Jane. They call her Jane, but I think it's many people have said that she's actually 50 Cent's baby mother. I don't know if that's been confirmed, but I'm looking at this comment. Somebody said, what does this have to do with these charges? Remember, the job of the federal prosecutor is to put him away for life. It's all fair game. Anything that will paint him in bad light, okay, they pull them up. But again, like somebody said earlier on, maybe Diddy doesn't think that they've done a good job at prosecuting him or proving their case, right? So maybe that's why it's not taking a stand. Somebody say, I mean, it ain't wrong. What was the point of this? This makes him look human. Okay. So I don't know. Was it the prosecutor that put this out? I think so. Okay. Let me see what they say in the caption. I'm so sick of this case. Okay. Let's see. All right. Let me see here. All right. Let me come to the chat. Shout out to Misty EE. I see you guys have a serious interest in this case. Exotical rappers and athletes keep passing the same women around. Lemmings and homoerotic. Who knows? I mean, they don't know what to do with themselves with such levels amount of money, right? I missed a lot of the hearing, but I am getting back into it. Okay. Stockholm Syndrome is mind-blowing. Brian Steele did an amazing job. Why didn't Tina Turner leave? Why didn't they leave their baby daddy? People overestimate themselves. That's a good way to see it. People literally overestimate themselves. You hear it when people say, I will never do this, I will never do that, I will never do, you know, they start saying things they don't know they will do if they're not yet in that situation, right? Yeah, wait until you're in that situation. Yeah, it's not easy to just leave, especially if it's a source of supply of a type of drug or drug of survival or anything. Just think it that way, right? It's not that simple to, like, you know, you have autonomy but not really. No, but you start to make your own choice, like, yeah, but not really. Just wait until you find yourself in certain situations. You will see that your power of choice is actually paralyzed to a large extent. So it's easy to make the example of when women are victims or children are victims. Actually, it's true for all of us. Okay, so you get yourself off that pedestal. Okay, emotions no be your mates. All right, so I always try to point out the basic human needs. If any one or two or a couple of those things are tampered with, you never know how you would make certain choices. Life can be very difficult when it comes to decision making and making choices. You just have to be in a position where you might have your back against the wall. That's why I said, don't count on it. Just keep feeding yourself, take care of yourself, work on yourself. That's your only point of leverage. I will never accept anything. Wait till you will accept that and more if you find yourself in certain situations. So if you don't work on yourself to make sure that you're attracting the right energy around you, you might just accept times 10 even that. So, but that's why people will say, I will never, you know. Defense will pull out all sorts of evidence it deems relevant to shift the onus to the person. You never know how, no matter how little, you never know how much of a need you to shift, right? So, prosecution are crowned to prove the case beyond reasonable doubt. Absolutely. Capricorn Clark was good, but they just said no direction on kidnapping. It was 90% of her story. Yeah. How are you going to let a guy blowing up cars? Yeah, we covered that already. We just never know with these things, right? We never know. We just have to watch and see. You see, when people say OJ was actually acquitted, right, in the 90s, that is actually a case that a lot of people are considering comparable because everybody thought there was overwhelming evidence to put him away for life for buying his wife back then. OJ has passed. I think he passed away not too long ago. So you just never know, because for every case you want to reference in the books of history, once upon a time it was the first time, and there's always a first time for everything. And like Mr. E said earlier on here, they're looking for, how did you say it? Defense will pull out all sorts of evidence to deem relevant to shift the onus to the prosecution to prove the case beyond. That's the phrase I was looking for, beyond reasonable doubt. Did you see how excited I was to say that? Because this is the reality of life, even before you come into legalities of things. And a lot of people don't pay attention to that. They think it should be as simple as right and wrong, and it is not. And you can tell with the way they handle their what's the word? The commentary around these kinds of cases. All right, so let me pull this one up. Let's see here. All right, so this is what we're looking at now. You can see this is 3 hours ago. They said feds drop kidnapping, arson. This is as posted on, what is this, Bola Alert. Trafficking, aiding charges in Combs case as trial focus narrows. In a major shift in the federal case against the defendant in United States versus Combs, prosecutors have officially dropped 3 charges: attempted kidnapping, so it was even attempted. It wasn't even straight kidnapping. Can you imagine? Attempted arson and aiding and abetting sex trafficking. The U.S. Attorney's Office filed a letter to judge. Yeah, we read that one earlier on, right? Somebody said, sounds like he'll be home in about 3 business days. Somebody said they see how the woman gave consent to be freaks is guilty of domestic violence, though. I mean, yeah, we saw that. We saw that with our own Kurokuro eyes. Somebody said this shift could have went to small claims and DV courts. Oh no. I mean, Diddy is a freak and is a super powerful man. So I doubt it. This is, somebody could, the prosecutors would like to make a career out of this. Don't forget that. They like to make a career out of it now. Hit the like button though. I beg, hit the like button if you haven't done that. It would be nice to make a career out of putting Diddy away for a long time, right? Their names will be in the books. So how many people are out there monitoring spirits that would like to take credit for making you a perpetual victim? So if no one believes this case was about to be assassination of character and putting a black man back in his place, then you're clueless. See, that person is thinking with one side of a human brain. They still don't get it too. They don't know how this works in real life. This was just public humiliation. Diddy's lawyers singing, we ain't go nowhere. This is bad boy for life. Anyway, someone said Diddy's lawyers singing. Yeah, that's someone. Anyway, so I said, free Diddy. I don't care what that man does in his bedroom. It ain't nobody's business. Honestly, all parties were adults and consented. This was a smear campaign, a stay in your place lesson. Yeah, it's not going to be that simple. He's a powerful man, and that is a big variable in this case. Either it is stated in black and white or not. Somebody, if you're going to get a traffic ticket, not a traffic ticket, what's that? He can replace that with $150 and probably go home completely free. One day, people will read more than a headline. This isn't a win for the defense. Not yet. Somebody said free Diddy, get dog some help. They just wanted to humiliate him in front of the world. I mean, he's a freak. He's such a freak. Yeah, Robin, come on your nipples, that is a freakish thing to do. That is crazy. After somebody has come all up inside of your girl, that is crazy. Anyway, he'll get convicted of a lesser charge and received time served. Yeah, because he's served about 9 months already. It's possible. It's very possible. They just wanted to humiliate him. I can't wait until he come home so I can attend a Diddy party with it. Somebody said he coming home. As you can see here, a significant amount of people in this comment actually think he might come home. We don't know. We do not know. Mara says people don't know what he is charged with. It is obvious. Was that consent voluntarily given or under duress? That's the question, Missy E. That's what they need. That's what somebody needs to prove, right? Me, I don't know. I can't predict anything, honestly. I know I said I think it's going away, but you see how I just changed my mouth just very quickly. See, I don't know. I don't know. You would care if one of your family members was a victim. I know the person that said I don't care, right? I know. But a lot of children in those parties over the past 30 years, 3 decades. So, but you know, the truth is that a lot of people can't connect with this case at a personal level. So it is what it is. All right, let me see how Hollywood Unlocked has worded this. They said, well, here's a little good news for the Did stars, for the Did star. In the latest update in the high-profile court drama, federal prosecutors have dropped some charges. I want to see the comments. Somebody said they just wanted to embarrass this man in front of the world. BS case. Most of those charges were there to shed light on his character, and they did. They don't need those to stick. Their purpose was done. Okay? He walking for sure. Now, Diddy coming home. Y'all keep comparing this case to R. Kelly. Robert was effing children and knew their damn age. Okay? I mean, is there a way to justify Diddy in this case? I mean, these are nasty behaviors at the end of the day, but they're not necessarily criminal behavior. We'll find out in a few days, maybe. He's walking. If they do sentence him to any of the charges, it's given time served. You know, the other day they charged, who was that? That they charged to, I forgot, was it, who was charged? Was it Bill Cosby? Some crazy charge that's basically a charge. No, it was Donald Trump. Donald Trump was convicted and then was basically acquitted. It was sentenced to, what was it? It was sentenced to freedom. They still use the language freedom, something like that, but and people are like, wait, what? That can happen? Yes, it can happen. Yes, of course, it can happen. Mara says the arson and kidnapping are just some of the crimes to consider under the racketeering charge. They have so many other that they have proven, in your opinion, bribery, distribution of drugs. Okay, that's a good point. Thank you. That's a good point. I don't think they did a good job, but they know better than me. I mean, they are collecting $1 million a month. You know, I mean, the defense, right? We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. Because right now, I am on the fence. I am back to the fence, personally. Okay. I am back to the fence. So about 5 days ago, they had, you remember this guy right here? Diddy's alleged drug mule, Brendan Paul, testifies he brought drugs, handled cash, and helped set up Wild King sex nights, all under immunity. So he's going to be free, but he's a rat. Okay. Diddy's alleged drug mule took the stand after being granted immunity and detailed his role in Combs' inner circle. He admitted to purchasing weed, Xanax, Tucci, pink cocaine, testing drugs to prove loyalty, and helping arrange what were called Wild King nights, which involved drugs, sex, and multiple partners. Yeah, I think this is the part you were saying, right? So
yeah, you don't have to see it, but
they might have proven something. I don't know, you know, they might have, but this was their star witness. But let me ask you this question: Do you think he might get as low as time served? What are okay? I'll do like this. On a scale of 1 to 10, what are the chances that Diddy is going to get time served as a sentence and actually go home? It's a tricky question, but it's a trick question. On a scale, okay? In fact, let me ask ChatGPT actually. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm just trying to use it to transcribe my voice. Okay. Wait now. Turn on the microphone. Okay, here you go. All right. Okay, so on a scale of 1 to 10, what are the chances that Puff Daddy Diddy Sean Combs will be sentenced to time served and go home free? That's a question. Now I'm gonna grab that and post that so you guys can see clearly. Okay, that is the question, and then I will ask ChatGPT to see what it says. I meant the prosecution defense don't try. Depends on what. Depends. That's the question right there. That's the question, guys. That's the question. On a scale of 1 to 10, what are the chances that Puff Daddy Diddy Sean Combs will be sentenced to time served and go home free? Mario says depends on what they convict him of. If they convict him, okay, I think they will convict him of something. I don't know if he's just gonna be free, but see, there's a difference between he might go home free and be convicted, because Donald J. Trump was actually convicted and he went home free. He was actually never locked up, so that is a possibility. So I want to know, on a scale, give me a number on a scale of 1 to 10. Give me a number in your opinion. Misty EE said if he's sentenced for life, then he will be eligible for parole in 20 to 25 years time. Me thinks. You think they have that much on him just for bribing? Abi, what is it that Mario said earlier? Bribing, yeah, drugs, distribution of drugs. You think they have that much on him? I don't know. I don't know. From a standpoint of common sense, which I think is a terrible guide to life, it doesn't sound to me that they have that much on him. But let me see what ChatGPT said. Oh, ChatGPT says is on my side. It said it's hard to predict with absolute certainty, but considering recent developments and legal trends, the chances seem fairly reasonable. He's had quite a journey through the legal system, hasn't he? Okay, wait, that's ChatGPT. Let me see what Gemini says, because I don't know what you're talking about, ChatGPT. I wanted something. I need you to get off the fence. Don't hang out on the fence like me. Let me see here if I can pull up something here. Let's go. Let's see what Gemini says. Then I'll round up for the day. This one is giving me excuses. Go somewhere. It says I apologize, but I encountered a syntax error. Search online. Let's see. Okay, let's see if we. Okay, all right, we found something. Nothing much. They're hanging out on the fence, rightfully so, because they're public platforms. Based on the most recent information, June 24th, 25, Sean Diddy Combs is currently on trial in federal court in New York City, facing 5 felony charges: racketeering, conspiracy, 2 counts of sex trafficking by force, fraud or coercion. Have they really assessed the fraud thing? I haven't really been following. And 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution. Here's a summary of the latest development. Trial status. The prosecution and defense have both rested their cases. The trial has been ongoing for over 6 weeks. Combs' plea: he has pleaded not guilty to all charges. Potential sentence: if convicted, he could face up to life in prison. No bail. He has been held in. Okay, no bail. Combs not testifying. Defense strategy is defense team called no witness. and moved for acquittal, arguing the government failed to meet its burden of proof. So they actually brought no witnesses. Interesting. The judge has reserved judgment on this motion, dropped charges. Prosecutors have decided not to pursue attempted arson, kidnapping charges previously alleged as part of the racketeering conspiracy, focusing instead of on sex trafficking and forced labor. Okay, key evidence. The prosecution presented evidence including testimony from over 30 witnesses, including 2 former girlfriends, Cassie Ventura and Jane. Okay, text messages and graphic videos of freak-offs and hotel nights. Okay, defense argument. The defense maintains that the sexual encounters were consensual and that the prosecution has not proven the charges beyond a reasonable doubt. What's next? Closing argument are tentatively scheduled for Thursday. Okay, so on Thursday, which is in about 24 hours or so, I guess we'll find out more. They said the conclusion from Gemini says, given that he is currently on trial for serious federal felony charges that carry a potential life sentence and he has been held without bail, the chances of him being sentenced to time served and going home free are extremely low. They said low. That means like a 1, 2, or 3. Time served is typically for less severe cases, and when a defendant has already spent a significant amount of time in custody, that would largely fulfill a likely sentence. Wait, what? When a defendant has already spent a significant amount of time in custody, that would largely fulfill a likely sentence. In this high profile is key. In this high profile federal sex trafficking and racketeering trial, a conviction on any of the current charges would likely result in a substantial prison sentence, not just time served. Marriott is right. The outcome now rests with the jury after closing arguments and their subsequent deliberation. Okay, I'm going to just read you guys' comment and then we'll go home. Marriott is right. I'm leaning with Marriott now at this point in time. Marriott and Missy, actually. I'm leaning with you guys at this point. Missy said if he's sentenced for life, then he'll be eligible for parole in 20. Okay. RICO sentencing is like 20 years and loss of assets. I'm not too familiar with the US system. They tend to be similar. Conviction is different from sentence. I would rather see a sentence enforced. Okay, US system is difficult as each state has different set of laws. Well, New York City tends to be complicated too. Trump's own were pen offenses, Joe. Okay, you're right about that one. Okay, all he was trying to do is grab a pushy. He wasn't running enterprise and freak off parties, and he wasn't doing it for 30 decades with a bunch of girlfriend witnesses. Anyway, there was bribery though. It's not bribery crimes, it's the RICO that has long sentences. That's a good point. The enterprise, the fact that it's enterprise level, right? Each of those charges carry long sentences. So even if he's convicted of only one, he's roasted. Okay. All right. I'm learning, guys. I'm learning. Victim number 2 was sex trafficking via fraud. It won't work. Okay. There was no fraud. Okay. Well, they're dropping the sex trafficking part, right? Thank you, because I was struggling. He couldn't be granted bail because witnesses need to be protected. Time served will be counted into the time sentence, but it sounds like it's going to be significantly higher than the 9 months served, right? So easily convinced. Shout out to Missy, EE, and Marriott. You guys didn't come up stage, but I appreciate the chat nonetheless. Thank you guys. I appreciate you. Hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notification. What's tomorrow? Thursday. Let me look at my schedule. For tomorrow. Okay, it's wide open. Let me lock it. I'll lock it just for you guys. Just for you guys participating today. I'm gonna lock it down so that no one takes it. Blocked. All right, good. We'll be back here tomorrow. Especially that tomorrow there's a likelihood that we're going to get some updates on that. All right, thank you guys. Hopefully you've been enlightened, educated. Hit like, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications. I will see you guys on the next one. Take care and God bless. Peace.
Girl, it's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Make love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.